Hello, everybody, and welcome to another session of MicroTalks from Spyglass. During this session, we are actually going to be diving into Defender for Cloud Apps and being able to create a session policy that will prevent us, in this case, from being able to copy and paste potentially sensitive information out of Teams. So with that, the first place that we need to start is we actually need to start with setting up a custom policy conditional access. So I've already created one here, so let's just go through it really quick. I create it, we name it. If you've watched any of the other sessions, I'm going to tell you again, don't be stingy with what you put in here. Put in exactly what it is. Specify your users, in this case, the KD test user. Make sure that you are setting up any exclusions that you need. You always want to be careful with conditional access policies. Don't lock yourself out. In this case, it wouldn't lock anyone out, but it can prevent certain actions. So make sure that you do exclude anyone that needs. Just always remember exclusions will always trump inclusions. We're actually covering all cloud apps. We're going to demo this in Teams, but this actually would affect all cloud applications. Don't need to set any conditions. Don't need to set any grants. And then within the session piece, we're going to check the box for use conditional access app control. And we are going to say use custom policy from the options. So with that, we will hit select. I'm actually going to X out of this just because we haven't made any changes, and that way we don't make it replicate again. Once this is set up, we then can go into our Defender for Cloud Apps, which is it is sitting within the Defender portal. I go down to Cloud Apps. I click on Policy Management. I then choose the conditional access action types, and I would hit Create Session Policy. In this case, I've already created one, so let's go in and take a look. Here, again, name it. Don't be stingy. It's quite a long path that it will take. You can pick the template, right, that I want to block, copy, paste in real time based on inspection. So here, what I'm doing is I do want to pick the activity of block, right? I'm not monitoring, I'm not controlling file uploads or downloads. I'm actually blocking an activity. So what activity am I blocking? That's where I pick the activity type. It equals copy paste item. You notice I also could choose, I can actually block sending a Teams message if I chose to, and I could select to block print. But in this case, I'm just going to do copy, cut, and paste. And then I'm actually also applying that the application has to equal Teams. So while the conditional access policy says that it could be any application, this policy, which it's now going to try to enforce, states that it has to be Teams. I then can do use content inspection. If I don't check this box, so if I left this blank, it actually would just prevent all copy and pasting within Teams. But when I check this, I now need to determine what do I want to prevent the copying and pasting of. And here I'm actually picking a social security number. So what that means is if the user is moving or trying to move a social security number that happened to be in a chat, and they try to take that out of Teams, it will actually throw an error. You notice that there is a customized block. So if when we do this, we should see a message that says this is not allowed based on Spyglass policy when there's the block. You also can send an email if you choose to, but in this case, we're not going to do that. And then for the alerting, right, this happens in the back end. The user is not going to see this. We can set this up. We can send alerts as emails. We actually even could do a Power Automate here. But with this, I'm just going to go ahead and go back. We haven't made any changes to it. So now if we actually demo this, actually, let me do, you can see if I go to Teams and I go to my chat, oops, actually, apparently I don't have that in there, but if we go to the other one, it didn't save the chat that I was doing with this person. So here, you can see that I have a social security number, right? Obviously, this is a completely made up social security number, but it is enough to trigger what this policy is doing. So if I, even if I put, I really like the SSN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that will send just fine. But if I try to copy and paste this out, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control C. You notice that it actually comes up, action is blocked. This is not allowed based on Spyglass policy. So there you have it, right? Quick way to set up something, prevent people from doing certain kinds of sensitive data, particularly if it is something, for instance, like PHI or HIPAA-based. You can prevent that kind of thing from being copy and pasted out. Now, since it is cloud apps, this is only going to focus on the browser. It is not going to prevent any actions from the thick clients. All right, hope you enjoyed today's micro talk. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day and see you next time. Thank you.